Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes.
Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? It's a win. We've got to win, a hard-fought win to end the weekend off. Thank you all for joining me on this Sunday morning, as always. I'm not late, Gray. I'm not. It is 31 minutes past, and I started the show at past, so I'm not late. Unlike last week, where I was absolutely shattered. Morning, everyone. Morning, Gray. Morning, Derek. Morning, Mr. B. How are you all doing? Get your views and get your comments in. As always, we are going to be talking about the game. I'm getting your comments on to talk about who played well, who didn't play well. And, of course, as the show is titled, the Mr. Starboy in Abdul Fattah, who scored the only goal to win us the game. Make sure to put your comments in, and we'll catch you all straight after the intro. See you in a bit.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Yes, as always, make sure to follow us on all socials if you can. Appreciate it if you could. We'll get straight into a few more comments before we do bring Nick on. Firstly, we'll say that it wasn't great yesterday. We will say that. It wasn't pretty. But the main thing is, and if you want to try and get back up into the Premier League, is just making to stick out and make sure to keep hold of the lead. As Gray says, the worldie did save the day. It did, because I don't think I was previously, before the goal went in, I said we're not going to score here because do you know what? Charlton did very well to keep hold of us. Every time we tried to pass a ball to someone, they were always on the man. We just couldn't get past any of their players because they just was too aggressive and whatnot. So I get the point of it, but like Aggie says, great goal, but not sure how we deserved the 3 points. And I probably would agree in most senses. I think once we did score, I think we could have got the second, but again, certain players just weren't performing to the level we needed them to be. But Gray got it spot on. I think out of all the players that yesterday, I think him, Mr. Jakub Salarczyk was the one to keep us in the game. There was a few brilliant saves in that game to win us it. Patrick did say midfield was too weak. We'll talk about that in a minute because I do kind of want to debate that. I think there were certain players in midfield I think were better than others. I think when Winks came on, I thought he did well to hold the game up a bit more. But again, Skip, invisible. I think most people would agree with that. Skip and Sumare don't work in midfield. Together, I would agree. Maybe one of them and someone else I would probably agree with. And then Ian says, morning. How are we all doing? Appreciate you coming on. Nick will be adding in now. Nick, how are we doing, mate?
Morning, dude. You all right?
Yeah, all good. Go on then. Give us your first initial thoughts of the game yesterday. Obviously, we have won the game eventually. Like people have said, the Stunner won the game alone, but it weren't the prettiest, was it?
No, but let's be fair. That's what you're going to get in the Championship anyway.
Yes.
It's a tough challenge, and there's going to be a lot of teams we come across this season that are going to, we're going to have that type of game against, where it is scrappy and stuff. But we defended well. Jakub was fantastic, as was Hamza. I thought Hamza had a solid game yesterday. And one positive, other than the world there, Ricky P's back. So
he is, yes, he is. And do you know what? From you mentioning that, I kind of took an eye to the bench and where also Cifuentes was standing and whatnot. And the moment Abdul scored, after his celebration, his first thought was to go to that bench. And Ricardo Pereira was the only one stood up with Cifuentes. He gave him a hug and whatnot. And I think for me, someone like Ricardo Pereira now he's been given that captaincy role, he's taken a different step in how he thinks and how he kind of looks at the games. Even though he's not playing, he wants to be there and tell people how to, like, what to do and how to do it. And I think he's really stepped up the game now. He's been put as captain, even though he's not playing. Obviously, when he did come on, I think he did well to see out the game. But yeah, when you mentioned Ricardo Pereira, I did notice it, and I don't know if how many other people did, but he is looking like a different player now. He's been given a leadership role.
Yeah, I love Ricky. I think he's he's been with us for some time now, and you could see he was the obvious choice to be captain this season. Whether people moan about it left, right, and centre because his injury record or whatnot, but captain is not just a player that's on the pitch for 90 minutes every week and a bit.
Yeah,
It's behind the scenes and stuff like that. So no, it's just great to see him back.
yeah, and obviously when Abdul scored, we saw his kind of reaction to it. Obviously, we seen what he said last week after the game, mentioning about the fans not backing him and whatnot. And obviously, because I was there, and I would agree. I think we did try and back the boys as much as we can. There was still some rooking chance and whatnot, which I don't think was needed. But after 90 minutes came up, and obviously the extra time came up on the boards, I think majority of the fans in the stands was trying to back them until the end because we needed it, and we won the game. And obviously you could see the reaction after the final whistle blew. Chapter says we need to see some faces, some more faces. Sorry.
That's why you're getting Rudkin out. We've got was it 7, 8 days left of the window. And I think we need a minimum of 4 in.
Yeah, I agree. We will mention a few names then who we thought played well. I say someone just said there that Hamza was a bit sketchy first off, but again, no one was going to be perfect. I think they could name some better than most players. Like you said, Chardry and Stolarczyk was probably the ones. I think. I in the mid game, I did say to someone, I actually thought Coley was doing okay. Yes, he was a few odd passes, but majority of the time he was covering up, he was getting in positions right, and I think he was at times my man of the match for it. But until Stolicic started to score, saving some chances. The one name I'm going to mention, and I've already said it to you, Mr. Sumare. Like stats wise, again at the game, he is one of the better players, and a lot of people I think still have not an agenda, but some have kind of thoughts about him from the last few years and think he's not good and whatnot, and they kind of put that on him. Yesterday, I actually thought he was quite good, and he was obviously the assister for the goal. So, what was your take on some of the players I've named?
Well, as I say, my feeling towards Hamza yesterday. I thought he was great, as was Jakub. The problem is with Samara, he's kind of tated himself before now he's starting to get going because he's put in those weak performances previous and stuff like that sticks.
Yes.
If he wants people to start speaking in positively, it can't just be a 1 in 5 performance. It's got to be every week. If you start showing it every week, people will start coming back on side. So
I'm not going to deny that he's not had the best of games before, but again, when someone has a good game, credit it for it. I know you're saying when he doesn't play well, and then he starts playing well, and then he doesn't play well. I get the point of it, but for me, yesterday, Simari actually did play quite decent, and I think as much as I don't want to be harsh on a certain player, it was. I don't think it was the right game for him to play since El Kanoush was not in. I think Louis Page maybe struggled a tiny bit. I know he's only 16, so we can't really judge him too much on it, but I don't think he did that well when it came to an aggressive team like Charlton.
No, but again, though, it's good experience for the lad.
Yes.
He's 16 years old. He's a young lad, and let's be fair, El Kanoush is off to the Eagles, isn't there? That's why he was left out of the squad. We all know it.
Yeah.
They need to replace Eze. Why they're going to choose El Kanoush to replace Eze, I don't get it. But yeah, it just, if anything, it just goes to show that in that sort of creativity art side of things of our game, we haven't got a lot. So we do. That's I was putting in the chat yesterday. I said we need some creativity on the pitch because, I mean, let's be fair, Bilal's not exactly brilliant when coming to that anyway. I think you could argue last season Buonanotte was more creative than Bilal was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we just got to get some players in with these last few days, and let's be fair, right? We sold McAteer to Ipswich. That was all done really quickly and got out. So why can't we get it done quickly for players coming in? You'd
Because
like
it's
to
Leicester
think
City,
so.
mate.
Well,
It's
no, this
Leicester
is
City.
this is the silly thing. We're doing a fire sale, selling players left,
Mm.
right, and centre, trying to make the PSR better. Then why can't you get the players in, even if it's loans?
I
Just to
think
bulk it up.
once El Canous leaves, I think we don't know any of the back room and how things are going financially. But I think if Bilal goes now for like 30 million, I think overall with the money we've brought in from players, surely we'll have enough to at least get someone in. I think we've had to get to the point now where we might have had to get to the point where we're even, and then now we can start to have some money to spend, because we can't be selling 30 million pounds worth of players before and then add an extra 12 and then add an extra 30 and still be like, we've not got any money to spend.
Well, if you're saying Bilal's 30 mil, you've got the Hermansen 20 on that. There's 50. Then you've 55-ish for Coda. Then you've got another 12 on top of that with McAteer, which is pure profit because he come through the academy.
And
We have got
DD 9.
ended there, yeah. So it's the best part of nearly 75 million we've made.
Even
And if
if
you're
we
telling
needed
me
to
we're
get,
still struggling after selling 75 million's worth and got those high wages off the books, I'm sorry.
even if we had to get to maybe like the 40 million mark just to make it even, we've still got 35 million there after that to use. And obviously most of that would be down to the El Canous sale. So again, maybe we are waiting for that to go through before we can go, right, we've got 7 days left of the window to really crack down on what positions we need. But again, we are leaving it quite late, of course, as Leicester City always do.
Yeah.
People are mentioning the likes of Mabadidi. Where was he yesterday? I don't know if anyone's come out and said anything about it.
There is rumours of Besiktas, where ended he's gone. There is rumours, but obviously I only watched the second half because, as you know, I was working and I had to listen to Radio Leicester, and they said that he'd pulled up with a strain. That's why he'd not played. So he'd done something in training, and that's why. That's what Radio Leicester was saying, but nobody tells us anything anyway, did they? Really, let's be fair.
No, sometimes the manager comes out of the game. Some people mention why certain players weren't in the squad, but yeah, it's not. Again, we won the game, so I don't think it was necessary. And again, I don't think Monga had the worst games out of the lot. I think but after last week against Preston, he scored a goal. I probably preferred to start him over Mavadidi either way. By the way, Jamie, I have put the link in the chat if you want to come on, as you requested. Derek did say the fire sale continues. Hopefully not. Hopefully we need to have a point now where we need to keep a lot of players, because I think we've got rid of a lot of players we probably didn't exactly need or it was necessary to keep. I think now we've got a base position where we've got to keep what we've got.
I only want players, really, that want to be here, that are prepared to fight and scrap and prepared to fight for this that's on the shirt. If you don't want to be here, just go. And I know we're not the only club that's got that as well. I mean, I was watching Match of the Day this morning, and Frank was saying exactly the same thing. He only, because obviously they missed out on Eze, and he said, "Well, we only want to sign players that want to be here anyway."
Yeah, I agree. No, I do agree. I will bring John Towers in a minute, but do I have to mention the kind of elephant in the room about Coventry and seeing them beat QPR 7-0? It's only because I saw one of their players have Coventry on the back of the shirts, and everyone started putting TikToks out about, oh, look at us, we're going to win the league again because we won yesterday.
They won't do anything. They'll get playoffs at best. Come off of it. They've only just bought this yesterday. They only just bought the stadium outright yesterday for the first time in 20 years that it's been there.
No, I agree.
They'll find a way of messing it up.
It was a good win for them, though, I won't lie. We did see McAteer as well come on for Ipswich. I don't think he did much, but again, another one that's left us. We will bring Jono in now, and we will bring Jamie in.
Morning, Jono.
How are we doing,
Morning,
guys?
Jamie.
How are you? All right? How's it going?
Oh, not so bad yourself.
Happy with the win, Jamie?
Well, you've got to be happy with the win. I was quite happy to see all the academy graduates on there, 9 of them. I heard you talking about Lewis Page. You've got to remember he's only 17.
Oh, I'm not kind of saying him. I'm just saying.
No.
I don't
I'm
think
just
it was the
saying.
right
No.
game.
I heard. Yeah. He was bound to be nervous. I know the few times he got the ball and he played it backwards, but it's his first. It's his first full. It's his full debut as a 17-year-old away from home. I think he'd have preferred to play at the King Power, but I think he'll had some decent touches. He'll grow into the game. He got an hour. As for Jeremy Monga, I think he's more of an impact player at this time of his career, coming on as sub like he showed against Preston last week. I don't think he's got the starting ability yet. I think he's going to make an entrance as sub more often than not, because to me, he's more of an impact player and he gets the crowd off the feet. And if he comes on with 20 minutes to go and it's 0-0 or we're losing 1-0, we need a goal, I think that'd be the boost we need. Maybe he's not quite the right player to start every game yet, but there's a hell of a player in there. Definitely a hell of a player.
Yeah, no, I agree. Chap says he misses you, Jamie.
Cheers, Chapter.
Jono, obviously, after our win yesterday, we did see a lot of teams around probably who were going to be near the top half of the season next year. Majority of them did lose. Ipswich lost. Southampton did lose to Stoke, which Stoke are on absolute quality form right now. I don't know how they're doing that. And also, who else is it? Birmingham did win. But, Jono, what's your kind of take? Coventry, yeah, Coventry won as well. But, Jono, what's your kind of take on it after the win yesterday? Because I think the majority of the fans would be just happy that we did grind the performance out and we did win the game yesterday out of most games.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the league table, it's too early to start talking about that, in my view. After 3 games, that's not really telling the full picture. I think after 10 games, you can probably start looking at how things are going to start planning out over the season. But, yeah. Sorry, what was your question?
I was just saying that it's good that we grounded out the performance yesterday.
I was really happy with that, regardless of the fact that there was little or no quality in the game. The fact that they were blocking tackles, they were blocking shots and making tackles and looking like they were trying to get the result and the points, which I think is the first time we've probably seen that this season, other than the second half against Sheffield Wednesday, where I think that they did step it up. But yesterday, it wasn't high on quality at all. And to be honest, Charlton had the better of it, I thought. But we were a little bit lucky. But, you know,
John, I was going to ask you the same question. Do you think we rode a luck a little bit, Jono, yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
In the second half?
Yeah, certainly. I thought we were hanging on a little bit. And I was making some comments to some other friends of mine about us hanging on a bit and whether we can hang on for the next 20 minutes or so. We managed to do it. So I think, you know, having the quality in the 2 boxes made all the difference. You know, the goalkeeper, Jacob, did amazing. I thought he was man of the match. And then the other end, Fatru, with a bit of quality. And I think that those 2 things made the difference. So I was pleased with the application of the players. I thought that they were actually looking like they were playing for the shirt. Whether you question whether they all are or not, I don't know. But as a team, I thought they looked a lot more like what we were expecting in terms of fighting for the shirt and looking like they wanted to play for the club. So I was pleased in that respect. Even Harry Winks came on, looked like he was actually bothered. And he actually did a few bits and bobs, didn't he, when he came on? So
I think we look better with Winks myself. He's better than Skip, in my opinion. I know he's got an attitude and stuff like that, but I don't see the point in Skip. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all said it till the cows come home on on Skip. To be honest, it's just how he's worth 25 million or whatever is beyond me.
Nick, question for you, pal. Do you think the way we're playing is because of the exuberance of youth? You've got 2 16, 17-year-olds, and some of the old heads are thinking, "Oh, if he's willing to put them in, we might have to up a game to try and get in." Because the youths have got nothing to lose whatsoever, have they?
No.
Well, I've got no fear, JB, have there? Let's be fair. You remember what it was like. So I remember what it was like being 16. You've got no fear and stuff like that. You know,
I'm not sure I can remember what it was like when I was 16.
You know what?
I can't remember when I was 16, so...
You can't remember anything, really. Let's be fair. No, I think it's probably a good thing where we're getting this blend of youth and the experience and stuff. Because, like you've just said, Jamie, it kicks them up the backside to start performing. Otherwise, there's somebody ready to take your spot. It's not a bad thing.
I mean, another thing I thought about yesterday after the game was you had plenty of time to think about really on the bus coming back. Strikers, 4 games in and not one of the strikers has scored. Really?
Honestly, yesterday for me, again, from the performance of Ayu last week against Preston, I honestly thought he might have started Daka. But again, he doesn't seem to be that force striker that we need him to be. He seems to always get the ball in his feet, hold it up, and let someone else run on with it.
But Ayu's not a striker. We all know this. He can play out on the right midfield, or as that 10 role. He's not a striker. If anything, it's quite telling
that we need.
He's obviously not just that, but it just goes to show Daka's obviously not putting it in training, because if Ayu's starting ahead of Daka, who is supposed to be a striker, I think that tells you everything you need to know.
But the one thing that Jamie was asking about how not one of our strikers scored, I think a team that wants to get back up into the Premier League, in my opinion, you need a lot more players other than just the strikers to score. But I know you're saying we need strikers to score as well. But
as long as the goals are scored, I don't care who scores them. But it'd be nice to get your strikers. I mean, David Nugent was co-coms the other on thing. I heard an interview with him saying, well, he got 21 goals in that year we went up. No. Was it that year? Yeah, I think it was that year he went up. Leicester went up when he was playing. And he scored 21 goals as a striker. There's not that many kind of strikers about nowadays.
No.
To get that. So everyone has to chip in. I mean, we've had 2 centre-halves score, a winger, 2 wingers. How many goals we scored? 5 altogether.
Harry Winks scored, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
Harry Winks scored.
You got 2 centre-halves, 2 wingers, and 1 midfielder scored. As long as the ball goes in the net and we're winning, I don't care. I mean, I've said this season myself that I don't think we'll do very well. I'll be surprised if we get top 6. But you look at it now, we've won 2 out of 3. That's 6 points. And I keep saying I've said this for years and years, and everyone knows this. 2 points on average is a championship winning season.
It is, yeah.
And we've got that so far. We've got 6 points from 3 games, which is 2 points a game, even with my bad maths. We're on target. I know it's only 3 games in, but we're on target. But I just can't see us carrying on all season like this.
But
according to the Sun, I don't know if you've seen it on social media this morning, we're trying to bend PSR rules by bringing Vardy back. Honestly, the Sun are reporting it. It was on Facebook this morning.
Do you know what? Right now, it's probably the best thing we need.
Yeah, but look,
we need someone to do it.
As much as I'd love it to happen, how stupid would the last game of the season
it
look
would be,
now? He went off with that big celebration and stuff like that. Oh, it's all right. Come on then, Jamie. Come and save us.
Well, I think if that did happen, it'd just be reflection on what's going on in board level, because they've got no other options or haven't been doing any planning around who else could be brought in. If Vardy does come back, I think the line in the sand is drawn on that one. I can't see him coming back. As much as you say it could be a good option for us, I think I just feel like we should move on now. I think that it's been done. He said his goodbyes, and it would be a mistake to bring him back. I think.
I do agree, but again, right now, like Jamie says, we haven't got any strikers scoring, so we need someone up there. But I think the last thing. Go on, Jamie.
Go on. No, you carry on.
I was just going to say that the last thing I was going to mention was about what Cifuentes said pre-match to the game yesterday, and he was saying about the togetherness of fans. And I think the difference between Preston's game and this game for me wasn't light and day, but it kind of improved. You can see on the pitch, like Jono said, that the players did get stuck in, did put bodies in and whatnot, and they wanted to show that they were wanting to play for the club as much as they could anyway. But I think that, for me, kind of showed yesterday in the fact of what Marty Cifuentes said to the press was kind of was told to the players and said, right, if you want to be here and you want to play for the club, then you've got to get stuck in. And I think that's what we saw yesterday.
Oh, yeah. We saw, especially the second half. The first half was a bit dour.
Yes.
But the second half, we came out with a bit more fight and spirit. There wasn't a lot difference between the first and second half, but there was a difference, and it showed. And we came out on top, even though I think we could have lost it quite easily if it hadn't been for Jacob. To be fair,
No,
fans
I
will
do
always
agree.
get behind. The fans will always get behind the
A winning
players,
team.
regardless, as long as they see players ready to fight, scrap, and put the effort in. It
With a
doesn't
bit of
matter if they're
application,
technically
yeah.
gifted. Yeah, as long as you can see that they're ready to, come on, lads, let's try and do everything they can and leave it on the pitch. The fans will get behind them. But when you've got things like Preston, where there were so many strolling around, not bothered, even the pre-game warm-up, they weren't bothered. They thought, oh, we'll just turn up at Preston and we'll win. You can't go in with that mentality.
No, I agree, and that's where I feel like the difference was yesterday. As much as it weren't the prettiest performance, like I say, I think there was 5 to 6, 7 bodies blocked into the line when they were taking shots. Obviously, Stolarczyk made that great save in the first half. I think the difference was what he said in the fact that we need to be together and whatnot. And then obviously coming into Friday's game now against Birmingham, it's probably going to be the hardest game out of the lot in the first 4. What are we looking kind of going into that one? Do we see anyone maybe coming out of the squad coming into that one? I know obviously Phil will talk about it tomorrow, but Jamie, do you think anyone deserves to get a spot in there?
I think, to be honest, if it depends on Mavadivi's injury, I think he'll be the first one on the team sheet instead of Monga. But I can't see many changes. It depends on the ins and outs, doesn't it? Who comes in, who goes out, who plays, whether Canusa's gone or not, whether they bring him back in because his head probably wasn't on it yesterday. And if he doesn't make his move, what's he going to be like for the rest of the season? He's so close to getting a move. So it's paper talk and that. I can't see many changes being made. It's just that lack of creativity. That's the problem. With what the midfield we've got, we haven't got the creativity for the strikers, for the chances, which I was going to say earlier, which I forgot to say. I don't think there'll be an awful lot of changes, to be honest, unless Mavadivi's fit.
Do you think there might be a chance that someone like Louis Page does lose his place and brings in the likes of a Monga and a Mavadidi role, where maybe Mavadidi plays in that 10 role because maybe he's got a bit more experience in the
You could do.
the
The only option I could see, just thinking about it, is Winks in for Skip. He must see something in Skip.
That's what I was going to say. Winks for Skip.
He must see something in Skip that we don't.
He was invisible yesterday.
Winks.
He was invisible.
But Winks has done well. Whenever he's come on for his appearances as an impact, he's done well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you've got to give him a chance.
I think we look more balanced with Winks in that midfield. If we've got to play Simari every week, I think it's.
There was only one thing I was a little bit
Winks.
disappointed with Winks yesterday. Remember, he went down the left-hand side in the 94th minute, 93rd minute, and he should have gone into the corner. And he tried to play a through ball across the pitch to give a chat. He should have gone into the corner. I was screaming, go in the corner, go in the corner. It's about game management at that time. That was the only thing that I was a little bit upset about. I thought, get in that corner, stay in that corner, waste a second. Charlton can't score from a throw-in.
No.
And they're on their corner line, on their byline.
I agree.
They got the ball back and went upfield and got it. That was the only thing. But I would give Winks a chance against Birmingham.
Yeah.
Because like you say, everything goes through him.
No, I agree. I think the one thing we need to mention before we do go, and I think we mentioned it earlier in the show, Mr. Ricardo Pereira, does he see the starting lineup next week against Birmingham? Because again, I don't know who you'd think changes it or comes out, because me and Nick both agreed that I think Chowdhury was one of the best players yesterday. Does he go into that midfielder role and partner with Winks? Or, because again, for me, Simari probably, I don't know if people agree, but I think he maybe deserves a spot next week against Birmingham. But it's hard when you've got so many players. Where does Ricardo fit in? Because again, does he take Chowdhury out, or?
I think that's easy, Reedy. I think if Ricardo's fit, he starts. He's the club captain. He's our best player, probably. Certainly in that position, he's our best player. So he goes straight in. And, Chowdhury, you could argue, had a good game. Could fit into the midfield. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Winks and sort of Hamza kind of maybe in midfield. I'm not sold on Skip at all. I wonder whether he might try Daka IU with IU in the 10 because I think that kind of worked second half against Sheffield Wednesday. But IU's like 33. I'm really worried that we're using him game in, game out. You know,
And we're hoping for a
You're not gonna get
39-year-old
46 games out
coming
of it.
back to the club.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're at home, so I think, you know, is there an argument to go a little bit more aggressive and try to win it? I think that seems to be like what Sif Wenters wants to try and do, a little bit more attacking, certainly at home. So I would welcome that. IU Daka starting maybe. Who knows? But we haven't got many options. I mean, we're scraping the barrel, frankly. I mean, you know, suggesting IU Daka up front, and that's really all we got. I mean, I'd probably like to see that from the start, maybe against Birmingham.
No, I do agree. Jamie, last comments then before we do let you go. Appreciate you coming on again on your own show. Go on then, give us a rating out of 10 for the performance yesterday and the win. Obviously, I know it wasn't the best performance, but overall, what would you give
a win's a win, isn't it? 3 points are 3 points. First away win since February when we beat Spurs. So that's a monkey off the back. Performance, I would give it 6.5, 7. It was an average performance. It wasn't fantastic. We built it up. You can't give it an 8, 9 or a 10. There's no way you can give it that. I would give it a 6, 6.5, 7 maybe. 3 points is 3 points. That's what we needed. Confidence. We've won 2 out of 3, which a lot of fans will be quite happy with. I know the performances weren't that good, but you can build on performance, and that's what we've got to. Like in his post-match interview, he wasn't happy, completely happy, but we got the win, and that's all that matters in that championship. You grind out results. 3 points is 3 points. Simple as.
There you go, Jamie. Appreciate you coming on. We'll catch you hopefully next week if you're around.
See you later, pal. Be good. See you later, lads.
Cheers.
See you later.
Cheers,
Jamie. Jono, go on then. Give us your rating out of 10. Obviously, like Jamie said, you probably can't give it too highly rated, but the winner probably helped it a lot. But
I'd say the win, getting 3 points, is probably an 8. But the performance wasn't anywhere near where we want it to be. It was definitely an improvement on Preston, and the application, you might say, I would say, is more like a 7, but the actual quality probably more like a 5. I would say so, maybe a 6 as an average. So I was pleased to see the application of the players yesterday seemed to be a level above where we've seen it before. But yeah, we need to build on that quality, and that probably means bringing in some players. So over to Rubkin to wave his magic wand.
No, I agree. John, I appreciate coming on, but I will say that I think once it hits the September 1st mark, I think that's when we'll be a bit more settled and know who we've got in the club to play and whatnot. But, yep, John, I appreciate coming on, and we'll catch you hopefully soon on the next show.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Yep, see you in a bit.
Yeah.
John. Nick, just you left to go. Give us a rating and give us maybe your thoughts.
No, I think on the whole, a win's, like everybody said, win's a win. It doesn't matter if it's pretty or it's it's scrappy. I think
it's a 10 out of 10 for a win, isn't it? So,
well, the 3 points is 10
out of 10. Yeah,
for 3 points, but the performance you're looking at about 6.5.
Yeah,
but all I want to see now, between now and Friday, my God, just get some players in, get Bilal sorted.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Get it sorted, get some players in, and then we can start building up. So that's where I am with it. But you can't grumble. A win's a win. We're 7th in the position, and it could be worse. We could be Ipswich or Southampton or Wrexham, who are down near the bottom. So
I think the last thing I mentioned was, I think from what I heard of, hasn't Wrexham gave their third shirts funds and what they get from that to the Sheffield Wednesday community thing? I'm not too sure on all the information. I think that's what Wrexham have done. So if they have, fair play to them. Obviously they're in a bit of a bad spot right now for Sheffield Wednesday, and they lost again. But like you said, win's a win. And that's all that matters, isn't it? We go into Friday's game, hopefully on the back of a win, and hopefully we'll get another win against them. It's not going to be the easiest game, of course. But appreciate you coming on, Nick. We'll see you next weekend.
Yeah, see you next weekend. Have a good one.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
See you in a
Enjoy
bit.
bank holidays, people.
Yes, I want to enjoy their bank holidays, even if you are working. See you in a bit. And there you go, guys. Appreciate you all coming on. As always, this has been Leicester Fan TV. Make sure to follow us on all socials down below. Appreciate it if you can. We'll catch you tomorrow for the Fan Zone show with Philip Holloway. And then on Thursday, we'll have a Fox's Focus show for you to preview the game against Birmingham on Friday. And then, of course, the week after is me again on Sunday. Appreciate you coming on. As always, they did a really great gesture. I knew it was right. I knew I was right. As always, of course. Appreciate you coming on, guys, and we'll catch you all on the next show. As always, follow Leicester Fan TV. Appreciate it.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.